Processability theory is a linguistic theory that discusses the stages of a bilingual grammatical achievements in speech. In the English language, the first 4 stages have to be cognitively processed gradually before proceeding to the next stage, and this is how it works.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Have you guys ever wondered why at some point of your life, when you have this interest of learning another language, your second language, say for example in this case, English language, right? Have you remembered the early phases, when you started to learn it, when you only have the ability to memorize, certain single words without actually have the ability to put a proper constructed grammatical structure of a sentence?
Scusi, pretty lady. Buongiorno.
Hello.
You looking for something?
Food.
Food. The good food, see? That one across the street.
That?
That one. Cook if you good, you sell. Real challenge.
Cooking?
Cooking.
Money?
Money? Yes, you can make money at the counter.
What you are experiencing is actually the first stage of processability theory. Processability theory is actually a second language acquisition theory made by a linguist to tell us that on the first stages of learning another second language, you only have the cognitive ability to actually memorize the single words and also formulas and some form of phrases that you only able to utter it without having any ability to actually understand the grammatical inputs into your mind.
Stage 2. Category procedure. In this stage, the speaker is able to incorporate the gerunds ending in ing in continuous verbs.
I said you.
That's what I'm asking you.
And you is answering.
Shut up.
Are you okay? What were you doing? You could have been killed. You're not being careful, Elsa.
Possessive markings with an apostrophe followed by an S.
It was our mother's. Mother saved Father's life that day.
I'd go to Lillian Marshall's place. Be back in that old living room where so many things happened.
Adding the suffix S to plural nouns.
But the Earth Giants now roam the north at night.
Kids, it's been almost 20 years since that cold April night in 2013.
And finally, the suffix ed in regular past tense verbs without changing the root word.
The whole Minnesota tidal wave thing happened 5 years ago.
I'd see my old drafting table where I sketched out my first building.
The category procedure focuses on morpheme markings such as past tense ed, continuous tense ing, plural and possessive s markings which do not involve any feature unification in grammar.
Have you ever confusing when choosing between the form of the verb be and how to use mode verb, or what to do with the noun that goes along with some quantifiers? If the answer is yes, then you reach the third stage of this processability theory, where you can recognize the structure of phrasal procedure like verb phrase and noun phrase. Verb phrase is where you add all the English auxiliaries before the verb and know how to put the right form of the verb that agrees with the auxiliary mentioned. In processability theory, noun phrase is the combination of a quantifier and a noun. The point is to examine your awareness of a plural nouns form, like you might add the escalator to inform your audience that is a plural noun. When you have already reached this stage, your cognition will do the task more unconsciously and effortlessly. It's very important to have knowledge about this stage of PT because it makes the meaning of your speech more comprehensive. Moving on to the next stage in the processability theory, which is sentence procedure. So it involves third person singular S subject-verb agreement. So he, she, it plus verb and S. For instance, he always drinks milk every morning and she eats banana for breakfast. So these are the examples for third person singular S subject-verb agreement. So I will be showing 2 scenes from an English show.
You must have been fond of her, what?
Nah, she's always nagging. Nag, nag, nag.
Well, perhaps she feels neglected.
She deserves to be neglected. I divorced her if it wasn't the one thing.
What's that?
We're not married.
Hey, you not speak nothing? He is not knowing the English as well as what we are knowing.
I speak with him.
Oh, blimey. He speak Hungarian.
So in the first scene, the speaker said she feels neglected, and he also said she deserves to be neglected. These are correct according to the subject-verb agreement rule. And the second scene, blimey, he speak Hungarian, is not correct in the subject-verb agreement rule.
So now, as a conclusion, 4 stages of processability: the lemma access, and then second, usage of past tenses, the plural as, the possessive as, and the verb ing, and then the procedure of phrasal, which involves the usage of auxiliary plus verbs and also phrasal plural. These, a complete set of stages will finally bring you to a complete understanding of having the ability to produce a sentence. At the end of the day, you will understand better because you have gone through all of these 3 stages that is important and significant to your cognitive ability to understand your second language. And that is all. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.